What's up, legends? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're here in Modern Warfare Zombies, and I'm gonna basically be doing a part 2 to the last video. If you guys watched it, it was basically a 0 to hero with a weapon of our choice, where we went in and I showed new players what it's like to start with a brand new operator, go into the game and slowly progress and find your way into at least the tier 2 zone. Essentially just teaching the players how they can go about upgrading as they go throughout their match, since they don't start with many things off the rip, being that they are new. So this is going to be almost a direct sequel to that. Somebody in the comment section, one of our regular viewers, you know exactly who you are, and I really do appreciate the comment, pointed out that, hey, what if you actually had showed everybody what it's like to not only loot up for that run, but what it's like and how much easier it makes it to go back into your next run, having access to those items that you found within your last run. So that's exactly what we did. Now, in our last run, if you watched the most recent video, we found the jug, we found the napalm burst, the rare tool, and the raw Ethereum crystal, allowing us some upgrades for our next run, and I'm using the exact same operator as well from that run also. Now, if you do remember this last video too, you know that I said you should actually be looting around in this area. Now, I did choose to spawn a few extra perks in for this, but essentially we are going to pop everything that we would have found. Alongside, I did bring in Speed Cola, Stamina Up, and Deadshot Daiquiri. Obviously, if you guys have any extra perks throughout your run, you're going to be popping whatever you get access to. But essentially, let's just say now that we are starting this run with everything we had from that last one, we're going to go ahead and rock directly into the tier 2 zone, which is going to allow us to progress further. Essentially, the items that you find in your previous runs or in your runs in general that you can use for your next run, pretty much domino, because then you'll start off that much more suited up than you did in your last round. So essentially for this, we're going to make our way through the run fairly similar to how we did our last one, but technically we're going to be showcasing just how much further you can actually get when you start out with some of the upgrades that we found again in our last run. So first thing we want to do now that we're already suited up is we do have our self revive, since we had that from our last run as well. And we actually start out with a little bit of a bonus. We start out with 1,000 essence, and I could have actually spent more time where I just was at the bazaar. I did shout out that location in the last video as well. So if you were looking to get more essence, or if you weren't as much in a hurry to get things started, you could have essentially been, you know, checking out the bazaar for any extra essence. Now, are there any? Yes, we do. We have a bounty over here. So basically what I'm going to do is head directly over to a bounty. We got our large backpack. We got our 3-plater. I mean, we set ourselves up pretty good for our next run in our last video. So things are going to be substantially easier. As you can see here, we're not really in any sort of fear, since we already started with that self-revive. Very similar to the last run as well. This first contract that we complete is going to get us a backup self. And there is always a chance that you get a disciple for your first contract. I do want to point out, being pack 1 rare isn't going to work incredibly well for the disciple, depending on the weapon that you're choosing. But I think with the new SMG, we should be fine, regardless of what we end up actually getting. Hopefully, you get a Mimic and or a Mangler, preferably a Mangler, as they're a lot easier to deal with. The Mimic is a little bit more annoying, basically, because the orb that it shoots out hits you almost 100% of the time, so it's a little bit harder to dodge. Whereas the Mangler can get stuck in a flinch and pretty much do absolutely nothing. So we do have our napalm burst, which is going to be fairly strong as an ammo mod. We're going to be able to dodge this guy when he shoots. We're going to keep shooting. You can, of course, shoot his hand as well. I don't always do that because not every weapon is strong enough, depending on the rarity, depending on the pack-a-punch level. Not always strong enough to be able to actually disable him before he gets the blast off. I hate how you're close to a vehicle, you get in it. You should have to be right next to it. Kind of cool, but not the best. So we're just focusing up on knocking out our first bounty here. Boom, just like that. We got a quick revive, which is a huge W. We got that backup self revive, which we were talking about. And now, because we came in with 4 perks, and I do want to point out the top 4 perks, in my opinion, are going to be Jug, Deadshot Daiquiri, Speed, Stamina Up, and from there, it kind of doesn't really matter all that much. Quick revive is great to get as your 5th perk. PhD is also a great option. But I think the 4 most important are going to be those first 4 that I mentioned. So Jug, Speed, Stamina Up, and Deadshot Daiquiri. Always make sure you loot these because they have a good chance of having things that you need. And I think I'm going to go ahead and grab this cargo delivery just because it is a pretty hands-free or hands-off contract. And we're just here to get essence, right? Essentially, we want to save up to get Pack-a-Punch level 2. We want to save up to go into the high threat zone at some point. And unlike our first run where we didn't quite make it into the high threat zone, we should actually be able to do that within this run. Oh, this is going to be kind of interesting. We should be able to do that within this run just for the simple fact that we actually had a head start. The head start is the crucial part of this entire journey, and it makes a world of difference as you guys are going to see throughout this one. So we do have to take this LTV over to its location. Again, like I said in the last video, I'm pretty familiar with these locations, and you will become more familiar with them as well. So it's pretty straightforward outside of the fact that sometimes you take a wrong turn. It can possibly lead to the demise of the LTV, just depending on the scenario. Now, if you are a newer player watching these videos and you're finding them helpful, please let me know down in the comment section below. And if you're one of my regular viewers just coming to show support because you'll enjoy the content, let me know how you feel like my recommendations are going for the new players. And if there's anything that you think specifically that I'm not mentioning that's extremely important. Because I think everybody, as far as the new players are concerned, would be happy to hear any advice from any player that has been playing the mode for quite some time. But essentially, I think we've been doing a good job. I will continue to do these. I have plans to put out one for the high threat zone for those of you looking to have more tips strictly on going in there. But we will be also visiting the high threat zone throughout this journey as well. Now, one thing I am going to do, even though I did just grab that bounty, is we are in tier 2, which means the harvester orbs have an opportunity to drop us a purple tool, or at least a high enough opportunity to drop a purple tool that we're going to value actually shooting this down because we did see it. And hopefully it gets us that epic upgrade, because that would be perfect for this video and for the example that we need. Great news is we're also using a very reliable weapon, great ammo reserve, great damage output, something that we can essentially count on even if we're a little bit underpowered. So that's something that I always keep in mind. If you are using a weapon that is already lacking, this scenario that I find myself in may not be as realistic, right? You might still have to be in tier 1 with the exact same setup. Okay, we got that taken down. Nope, green tool. Always still worth taking down just in case, because you never know. You might get the epic tool, and the epic tool does make that world of difference. But now we are able to head over to our next bounty, and we're not even 10 minutes into the match, and we pretty much, I could actually almost pack a punch to level 2, which is crazy. So pretty much after this next bounty here, where did our bounty go? It's over here. Right after this next bounty here, I can actually head over to the Pack-a-Punch machine. Now, unlike the Pack 1 crystals, the Pack 2 crystals aren't going to be common enough for you to actually base waiting for Pack-a-Punch level 2 in the hopes of getting a Pack 2 crystal. But if you do manage to get one on your journey, just, you know, obviously save that for your next run if you're already Pack-a-Punch level 2. And if you're not already, then you're more than welcome to use it and give yourself a little bit of an advantage, saving yourself some essence along the way. I mean, if you haven't Pack-Punched at all and you get a Pack 2 crystal, that's saving you the 5,000 and the 10,000, so 15,000. That's a pretty big savings. And if you have your containment level juiced up, it's not going to be as much of a saving, but hey, it's still going to save you purchasing Pack 1 and Pack 2. So just kind of depends on what situation you find yourself in. But most of the time, I don't count on getting a Pack 2 crystal. They're not super common. And most of the time that I get them, I'm already, you know, juiced up, Pack-a-Punch level 3, whatever. So in this case, again, this is the Mimic. There's a little bit more of a pain. I still have my decoys. Just use your things as you feel like you need to, right? I'm not super worried here as I've tons of experience in the game, and I know exactly what to expect. I'm not quite utilizing my decoys the way I would probably recommend that you would. Look, just like that. We got a dead shot for our next run. We already have a rare tool for our next run. I mean, this is just the domino effect I was kind of trying to point out. Now that we came in, we started in tier 2, it increased our odds of getting better rewards, giving us more essence per contract that we're completing, and now we're already in a position where we can pack a punch to level 2. 10 minutes into the match, or just under 10 minutes. Every time I see a harvester orb in tier 2 or tier 3, I'm more than likely going to shoot it depending on my scenario. But I definitely recommend as a new player, definitely shoot them down, because it could give you even another rare tool. Would be something that you may not actually have access to, and will give you another juiced up run in your next run after this one that we're completing. So again, these are all just items that you're going to be able to funnel in to make the next run significantly easier, allowing you to pretty much make it through the progression or through the zones a little bit faster. I mean, at this point, we're pretty comfortable here with what we have in tier 2. Come on, go ahead and shoot this down. This thing is just not wanting to work with me. And the same thing can happen. If you get good enough luck, let's say you get an epic tool and you choose to save it for your next run, which in some cases I would actually recommend you do, just so you can have a much more juiced up run and be able to take more advantage of it. Yep, another rare tool that we're going to grab. Because let's say you get a pack 2 and an epic tool in the same run and you choose to hold them for the next one, you're going to be able to start out pack 2 epic. And with some weapons and enough time spent in tier 3, you're going to be able to pretty much go into tier 3 with a pack 2 epic as long as you have the proper perks. So you never know what the domino effect might lead to. All I can say is you will more than likely get some items that will greatly benefit you, or even be the exact same items that you use in a run for another run. So you just never know what you might get. Luckily for me, I'm getting decent luck up to this point. Another great reason to start in tier 2, if you are able, is there's going to be less players in that area, and if you obviously get the right lobby. Some lobbies, there's going to be people going for each and every bounty that you could possibly come across. But if you get the right luck, like look at this here. If no one chooses to come over here and take this other bounty, I have another bounty to grab the second I complete this one. Chaining your contracts and getting them done as quickly as possible is only going to lead to you having more rewards, more essence, and better chances of making it into that high threat zone, which is what most players want to do. You want to get over there, you want your chances at higher loot, you want to be able to learn and understand the game and be able to challenge its most difficult challenges, essentially. I'm getting a little bit of latency in this one, so if you notice a bit of lag, it's happening. I notice it's happening. I'm just trying my best not to focus on it. Now, this is a little bit of a slow process here. Okay, we should be able to get this guy done within the next mag or two. I could have gotten Pack-a-Punch level 2 already. I just didn't want to backtrack. There's another rare tool. Again, multiple rare tools. You could start the next few matches with rare tools. If you're picking all of these up that we've been coming across. We haven't had super good luck, like I said, getting an epic tool. But hey, that's okay. If we don't get one, we don't get one. That just means I'm going to have to hope that your guys' luck has been better than mine. Well, in this case, it worked out. We came over to Pack-a-Punch level 2. And I did mention it in my last video, but in case you're confused, you can only go Pack-a-Punch to the zone that you are in. So if you're in tier 1, you're not going to be able to Pack-a-Punch to level 2. In tier 1, you're going to need to go over to tier 2. If you're in tier 2, you're only going to be able to Pack-a-Punch up to tier 2, so you won't be able to Pack-a-Punch to tier 3. You have to go over to tier 3 for that. Just in case anybody doesn't know or has been confused, that is exactly how it works. But now we're able to do this Pack 2 rare. Pack 2 rare is going to set you up for more than you need for the most part with most weapons in this zone, just kind of depending on what you're using. If you're matching your Pack-a-Punch level to the zone you're in, you should be almost always in good shape. The only exception is tier 3, because I definitely recommend having an epic or legendary tool alongside your Pack-a-Punch level 3, or at least an epic tool alongside Pack-a-Punch level 2, depending on the weapon that you're using. But Pack 3 rare is pretty rough for most circumstances that you're going to find yourself in with most weapons. I was going to grab another bounty, but I'm going to take this opportunity to try to make up for what I was hoping to show in my last video that someone kind of interrupted us for. So what we're going to do here is I'm down at this point of the map, in case anybody's wondering where this point of the map is. At this bridge location here. And I'm going to go ahead and get the attention of this Mega Bomb. There is definitely some delay in this latency. It's kind of crazy. Now, the good news is here, I do have the thermites, or I have a thermite, which is going to help me tremendously here. So I know for sure dude's going to laser. We're not going to have the strongest thing in the world here. If I don't actually have backup plates, which kind of sucks. I wasn't paying enough attention here. I would not recommend doing this with no plates like I'm doing right now. I have a little bit more experience and I actually know a little bit more on what to expect. So in my circumstance, it's not gonna be as big a deal. There we go. We broke the middle face. That's your main goal, breaking the middle face. So if you bring him over to this spot here where I'm at, he will actually just stand still and you can just stand here and shoot him in the face. So luckily for me, the reason I broke the middle face and why it's so important is because as long as I'm standing here up on this ledge, he's gonna continue to do his laser ability and I don't have to worry about a thing. Now, I'm going to save this one thermite I have until I run out of ammo, just in case. Oh, broke number 2. When you break the second one, it gets a little tricky. Again, we're rocking no plates, just to show how this is. You do have to kind of keep moving left and right in order to not get hit by the laser consistently. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of latency also holding it down for us. I'm not really sure why. And I can continue doing this. If I, for some reason, run out of ammo, I'll use the thermite. You always want to use the thermite while it's lasering. You're going to want to throw it into one of the faces that is shooting the lasers. It will swallow it, and it'll do significant damage to the Mega Abomination. Oh, whoa, whoa. One sneaky zombie almost cost us. And we're looking pretty good here. I'm actually really close to running out of ammo, but it's okay. We're going to be fine. Took that guy out. Look at that. He dropped us a mortar. They drop streaks, pack, tier 3, not tier 3, 3 plates, large backpacks, crystals. You can even get a pack 3 crystal out of this. Epic, legendary tool. I mean, the whole thing. We actually have 2 thermites now. So I might even farm a second one. And basically, that's the easiest way because you can get them to stand in that one location and they don't really do a whole lot. So hopefully I'll be able to get another one here and we can do another one and hopefully increase our odds of getting that purple tool. Another mega abomination spawned in. I didn't get any more plates, so definitely don't take after me in that. Definitely want to fight this with plates, especially until you get the hang of it. And even without, any time without plates, it's going to be risky, right? But if you have a backup self-revive, it's not quite as risky. There are elements to it. We're going to be in pretty decent shape here since I have 2 thermites. Oh, he's still coming this way. Nice. Ammo and that. Keep shooting the middle one, because that's the one we want to get destroyed first. Come on. Nice. I was hoping that would happen. Now we can wait for him. You do want to wait till he gets a little bit closer and then get on the stairs. Otherwise, he won't stay there, basically. He'll be wherever the heck he is when you get up on here. So if he's too far away, you're not going to be able to use the ability to dodge the busted face like I'm doing here. Pretty much just using it to my advantage. Boom. Just like that. And I think for this, just to make it faster, I'll show you. We're going to throw the thermite in. It doesn't normally blow up the last face, but sometimes it can. But it'll do some decent damage. It does significantly less damage, I guess, toward the end. But once the 2 faces are gone, you just focus up on the last one. One's not going to do, I mean, it can hit us, but it's not going to do enough. You can get even get ammo mods out of that. Look at that, brain rot. If we wanted to use that for our next match, we have it. Another large backpack out of that. You even get essence each and every time you clear this, so it's a W. There is always the chance, not that we got one here, always a chance though you get a rare, epic, or even in some cases a legendary tool for completing it. I'm going to go ahead though and knock out a couple more contracts just for the simple fact that I want to make sure we keep this party going in the right direction, and I do want to make it into that high threat zone. If you get better luck than me though, you'll obviously have a chance at that purple tool. If you get the purple tool, I mean, the whole game is changed for you. We need 15k to get our Pack-a-Punch level 3, which is what we're working toward here, and then I will also probably try to get an epic tool through a couple other means. Okay, we're doing another cargo delivery just because it was one of the easiest and closest to me. Now, it doesn't matter what exact contract you choose to do. I'm always going to recommend bounties, especially if you are in a position where you're suited up well enough to do it, because the bounties can be the fastest. You just make it over to the location, you just smoke the contract, and then you can move on and grab their next one. This is also a really fast one, just pretty much having to go from point A to point B without destroying the vehicle. The only difference is sometimes the distance of these is a little far, so you might have to travel a bit further than you would like to. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever contract you feel comfortable doing. I would always steer clear of the Merc ones. They're not going to provide you any benefits, and they're going to be a pain in the butt each and every time. But essentially, you're just trying to knock out contracts consistently so that you're not wasting too much time and you're going to be able to get the essence out of it. Oh, that was not how I was planning it. Hoping I could squeeze through that little gap. They really do make it as painful as possible. Okay, we'll go around and we'll be able to deliver these here. Just like that. Boom. And now I definitely have enough for Pack-a-Punch level 3. We have another dead shot. We could save that for a future run. Green tools are a little bit too common, so just expect to get those. I would be getting some plates here, but we're going to go ahead and Pack-a-Punch to level 3, and that's going to be up on the side. That is actually one of the best possible locations it could be. Now, this is where we go for Pack-a-Punch 3. I'm a little crazy here for doing this, but I'm throwing my decoy. I have no plates, so I can't plate up. I need to grab Pack-a-Punch level 3 right here. Boom. Now, we will be able to take zombies out, but it's going to be kind of tough with rare. Especially with his lag. I'm getting hit no matter what. This lag. Oh, come on, man. We got hit by lag off the rip. And then I just continue, you just keep getting hit. The tier 3 zone is not a joke. I should not be here with this. They're just going to keep coming at 100 miles an hour, so that's the big risk about coming in here. This is also why I don't recommend you do this with rare. I'm a little bit crazy for doing this because I kind of have more experience, but I'm just getting hit no matter what, every single time. Can't dodge hits. We're not going to be killing this dudes fast enough. They need to start dropping me some plates. That's what really needs to happen. Like, killing 5 zombies and getting no plates in a zone like this, is exactly why it's always risky. And as you can see, they keep piling up. We're just not getting... Oh my god. We are just not getting anything in return. And they walk right through your bullets, so this is why rare is such a risk. Because these guys are going to keep multiplying, and they're going to keep pushing me. And I'm not going to be able to take them out super fast. I mean, look at this. We just fired the entire time. Still not in the clear. I mean, the latency's not helping us too much in this lobby, but it is what it is. I get a little bit of time to actually play it up. I'm really going for an upgrade in rarity here. Okay. And we got that guy out of here. You do have to play extremely safe. How many backup selves I have? I have 0 backup selves now. So we already lost our backup self just running in here. Just goes to show how risky things are. So what I'm going to do here, and I don't know if it's going to be worth it, but I'm going to show you all how to do it. There are 3 of these locations in the tier 3 zone. Definitely recommend checking out a specific video for them. I have one over on my channel. And essentially you're going to shoot the 3 symbols. They're not always going to be available this late in the game, but I'm going to take advantage of it. So for some reason you make it over here, you're at least Pack-a-Punch level 3 and rare, you might be able to strategically take one of these on. I need to really make it over to my other part here, but we're going to start out by trying to take this on with the Pack 3 rare. Oh, that's not good. This is the problem I have. Whenever I'm trying to do something where I'm a little bit underpowered, I end up fighting mimics and stuff. Like, dude just sent me off with 1 health. And then he died. I'm telling you, it's cursed. I'm gonna throw this. I can't get hit by everybody. They're way too strong, by the way. Okay. These guys are all down here. Throw that at them. Should be able to at least take a chunk of them out. You just have to survive long enough, and had the mimic not come, I would have never had to get down. So get up back up here. I do recommend this one too, by the way. Oh, look at that. We even got a backup napalm burst for another round as well. I would say between napalm burst and shatter blast, those are my 2 favorites. But I would also recommend brain rot because it's going to give you a lot of friendly zombies to help battle off all the hordes that you get finding yourself into. This weapon is, however, I know what I said about the rare thing. I still stand by it. I would not push your luck too much. But the rare tool with Pack 3 on this specific weapon is doing us justice. So we did get a free Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystal. And that's the whole thing, right? So now, if you got one of these at this point, if you made your way here, you got a Pack 3 and a legendary to start your next match. Again, I said I would, and I probably will make a tier 3 video for the newer players out there. Just what it's like to kind of fight in this zone, what you should be trying to do, how you should essentially go about taking on the different contracts. I will just give you guys some tips and tricks on how I go through this specific area. So let me know down in the comment section below if you guys would like that. But essentially, we're kind of working through these in the way they make sense. Our first run, we had absolutely nothing. We got the items that we got to use in this run for the most part. We had our 3-plater. We had our large backpack. Now we're in this run. We kind of started out in tier 2. We worked our way up. We're now Pack-a-Punch level 3. I would recommend if you're going to be in this zone, always make sure you have a self-revive on backup, not even the one that you have equipped. And you'd be setting yourself up for success. But we were eventually able to make it over here, even though it was about 30 minutes into the match. We did get access to one of these triangles that holds a guaranteed legendary tool, the Pack 3 crystal, that we can essentially set ourselves up for that next run to go directly into tier 3. You can absolutely start your runs off in tier 3. It's just always a gamble on whether or not you're going to have the items you need to find success. It is always very risky to be in this zone off the rip. And it doesn't even look like I got what I came over here for. That's kind of sad. It's one of the first times I came over here to this specific spot and didn't get a harvester orb. Hopefully there's one down here. Okay, there is a harvester orb over here. I'm going to actually try to get it. What I need to do is get on this roof though, because all this stuff chasing me. The best thing you can do when you're getting chased in tier 3 or most zones, for example, is to jump on a roof, because all of the enemies, depending on the roof you get on, have to be funneled to one spot. They're literally all going to climb up this ladder here. I can go ahead and shoot that off. It's going to help me out here. Boom. I'm going to be able to basically destroy everything I need to. And now we can start shooting at this. I would have also grabbed more decoys if I was thinking clearly. We might have to jump down and focus on the orb. The zombies will keep spawning in, and they will try to prevent you from shooting these down. Luckily, though, you just have to shoot it enough times for about 1,500 essence to drop. I think it's like 15 hit markers. We're going to get attacked the entire time. Just keep moving, too. That's another piece of advice I have. You don't always have to be looking in every direction, but you definitely have to keep moving. The more you move, the less issues you're going to run across. Please give us a decent tool. This has probably been some of the worst luck I've had in a while. Normally, I get an epic tool within, I would say, like 3 or 4 harvester orbs, between 2 and 3. There it is. So finally, we got the epic tool. Now we're in the best case scenario possible for this run, where I was hoping to be. There's even another harvester orb over there I could shoot. Now, in normal circumstances, you would, well, I guess in this case, we got that guaranteed pack 3 legendary, so you're not going to worry about it. But in normal circumstances, this late in the match, I would probably suggest that you just hold on to your epic tool, especially if you're as new to the game as I'm anticipating you would be if you're watching this. Because then you could start out Pack-a-Punch level 1 epic, and then you only have to worry about getting the essence to go to Pack-a-Punch level 2, or to get your perks. Now, at this point as well, you are going to get the discounts on your perks with your containment level, which is also a huge help. So now, we have about 11 minutes left in this run. We are in fantastic shape. We have a pack 3 crystal. We have a dead shot for the next round. I mean, the reality is, at this point, we're just going to look to replace any of these items that we have that we could possibly get a better item rarity of. So, we get a pack 2 crystal, where we will replace this pack 1 crystal. If we get another epic tool, we will replace one of these rare tools. You're going to want to exfil with a full backpack, especially early on, because you're going to want to have as many items to help you along in your journey as possible, and you may not have the ability to spawn them in. Now, I recommend, absolutely, if you can spawn your perks in, that is a huge priority, because the perks are going to go a long way. Not having to buy each and every one of them, or at least having the ones that you rely on the most off the rip, is always a good idea. Holy smokes. And in Tier 3, things get continuously more insane. So as you can see here, I'm just literally trying to grab a contract, and it's going to be more chaotic here, trying to get this Outlast, than it is going to be doing the actual Outlast. And it's going to drive me nuts. I really wish it would cut it out. If we're more than strong enough to take this zone on, there's just endless stuff happening here. So, never be afraid to hang out in Tier 2. If you feel like Tier 3 is too scary, or you're not ready for it yet, or you're just, you want to get more comfortable with the game, there is no shame in hanging out in Tier 2. I think a lot of solo players have found that the changes to Tier 3 over the last couple of months, I would say, have overall made it way more of a pain than it is enjoyable, especially solo, depending on your skill level. But I think it is nice to be a little bit overpowered. Like Pack 3 Purple in Tier 2, you're going to flatline everything you come across. If you want a bit more of a challenge and you have the backup selves to kind of hold it down, obviously stick to the Tier 3 zone if you want a little bit higher chance at rewards. But you're going to get through the contracts a bit faster in Tier 2. You're going to be able to have pretty decent chances of good loot. So you're not going to be missing out a ton, but there is significantly better loot opportunities in the high threat zone, and you could even get access, depending on like where you're at in the story, to the sigils that you need to access the Dark Ether, to even get you those Elder sigils. But the reality is, you're going to just want to try to knock out some contracts while you're here. This location for the Outlast does kind of suck. I usually just try to shoot the Hellhounds as I see them, because they're going to cause you the most problems. But outside of that, I kind of just hang out. Like, well, look at this. I mean, we've only shot a little bit. We're only 36%. I should have revisited the resupply as well for more decoys. Do that way more often than I'm doing in this video. The decoys are lifesavers. Absolute lifesavers. And now that we have PhD, we don't have to really worry about the fire all that much, so we just stand in it. Okay. Oh, gonna go ahead and reload 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You choose to sprint before your guy does the last little thing. It's gonna make you keep doing that last little thing. One of my favorite features, to be fair. Whenever you feel like you need to, you throw out an energy mine. Or whenever you have one available, you can just throw it down, because you're gonna be able to get another one. I mean, again, I think we fought more zombies trying to activate or get a hold of this contract than we're actually getting through this contract. Okay. Yep. Got me walking into walls because the aim assist pulling my aim off of where I'm trying to go. All right, now it used to be whenever you completed a contract, all the enemies would get disintegrated. It's just not the case anymore. So there's a cryo freeze in there. I pretty much have to reload again. The cryo freeze in there, but overall not great rewards. And that's something you're going to notice. You're going to get bad rewards no matter what zone you're in. But hey, at least if you're in the high threat zone, you can increase your odds of getting significantly better rewards. Now we have plenty of time. I'm going to go ahead and grab us a bounty. And hopefully this bounty will be in one of the locations. I can show you a cheese spot to help you kind of get through some of these difficult tier 3 bounties. I also hope that it's not a disciple. Tier 3 disciples are easily going to be the most difficult thing on this map outside of maybe the Stormcaller. And you guys are definitely going to have to face enough of them in order to truly understand the best way to fight them. If you don't have a weapon strong enough to shoot the hand whenever it does its leeching ability, you're pretty much going to get stuck in a cycle where you're probably not going to be able to eliminate the disciple. So you're definitely going to want to make sure, if you're using a weapon that's going to struggle a little bit more, you need to make sure you reload before it even thinks about doing the specific leeching ability. Because you can kind of tell when it's thinking about doing it. Well, I can say for certain, this isn't the bugged location. At least I don't think this is. There might be a spot here that I could utilize. I honestly haven't gotten this. Oh, look at that. Sometimes you get really lucky. As I say, sometimes they just disintegrate themselves, but I hadn't actually gotten this location before, so W. Hey, and if you get really lucky, look at that. We got another elemental pop perk we didn't have. I don't think I've bought any perks during this run, which is kind of nice. Sometimes you get the ones you didn't have as free, and sometimes you have to buy the ones that you need. Kind of just depends. But we did bring the ones that we needed this time, so we didn't have to really worry about it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab the cargo delivery. This is the easiest contract, of course, to do in this zone. Doesn't require you to shoot a whole lot of anything, except for the zombies that are going to be here at the gas station. You could even sneak in at the beginning of a match if you are willing to sacrifice a self-revive or possibly sacrifice your self-revive in order to do this contract first. You could absolutely attempt to do so. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these dudes. Okay. Elemental Pop is great too, because then you get the Shatter Blast activations from time to time. Let's reload, open the garage. No mercs to worry about here, and this one's going to be the same every single time. So essentially, we're going to drive here outside the garage. You're going to go to the left. Most of the time, there's a Mega Bomb in the middle, so you don't want to really go that direction. Oh, look, there's somebody down in this zone too. I might have to try to go get them towards the end here. Go right up on the left, over that wall. It won't stop you. Take a hard left right here. Oh, look, there's even a Harvester Orb. And then we just drive across this way. You just got to try to avoid running over zombies since they could destroy your vehicle. More than likely, you're not going to get hit with too many bullets from the chopper shooting at you. It's pretty straightforward and short cargo delivery. Then you get to run over. What did I get for rewards? I got an epic tool, like we said earlier. We're going to replace that one that we have that's rare, so that way we are utilizing or at least leaving with the best possible loot that we get along this journey. That's huge W. So not only did I get an epic tool I could have technically saved if I wanted to, we also got that. Is there another bounty spawned in? I think I want to try to grab another bounty since that one was kind of a poor example. It automatically eliminated itself. Hey, and if you get lucky and it automatically eliminates itself, that's just more for you, right? More time and essence for you. Now, the great news, too, is we pretty much have everything we need in this run, and we also do have 20k. So if I wanted to go to a buy station, purchase some Casimirs, which I do recommend if you're finding yourself struggling with a lot of the hordes, keep a couple Casimirs on deck. Preferably, though, I do like to keep my decoys because I can hit up the ammo to resupplies and essentially just keep them coming. Oh, that Harvester Orb I was looking for earlier is actually here now. I might shoot one of these Harvester Orbs down. Chance at another epic tool and even possibly a legendary. It definitely might be worth my time. Okay, the Mega Bomb's not spawned in, so I'll do it. Should have grabbed decoys once again. I'm doing a really bad job at showing you guys that you should be resupplying at ammo caches as much as possible. Maintain having your tacticals and stuff. So don't follow those instructions that you see, but follow the instructions that you hear. Make sure you're hitting those ammo caches. If I had a decoy right now, this would be half the problem. Look how many guys I got chasing me. Doesn't matter, though. I got a dead slide. We're not moving at a consistent level. You can sort of keep outrunning them, but the zombies are fast, so more than likely you're not going to get the places you want running from them. Okay, just going to keep chasing it. It's a little scarier in the zone, but hey, it's more worth in this zone. You will get green tools sometimes and even rare tools sometimes from the ones in the high threat zone. Don't get discouraged. Don't let it convince you shouldn't grab them. Dude, these guys are relentless. Like, I don't understand how there's so many of them hitting me when I just cleared out the entirety of them. Like, I killed like a 30 pack. My energy mine. It's because it's getting later and later into the match. Oh, this didn't even drop. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, there's another example. Sometimes you get really unlucky and it doesn't even drop a tool. So, haha, fun example for us. Oh, there's another harvester orb over there. Dang, I might actually run over there after this and do it. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to show you guys the cheese strat because I didn't get one for this run. But I more than likely will go out of my way to make sure it happens if we do a tier 3 only video for the newer players or just for solo players in general. But it just hang out up here. This guy will make his way up here. Everything is going to funnel up these stairs or up this ladder. Not a stair set, it's a ladder set. So we're going to wait here. Nothing should come up behind you for the most part. Every once in a while, I think maybe something does climb up over there. But ideally, this is what you're going to do. You're going to wait for this guy. And at this point, we are way strong enough to take him on, so we don't have to worry about too much. We are getting to the end of the match. I know that for sure. We're going to make our way toward our exfil shortly here. We just want to get to the finishing touches. So as you can see here, the manglers are easily the easiest. Once he starts swinging at you, just slide away. Start doing this. Slide away. Because he's just going to keep flinching in a lot of cases. You'll just be able to keep doing it. If you're on controller, just spam your ADS, and it'll continue to help you lock onto the head, making more damage happen, basically. I'm going to swap out the stamina for that. Huge W. And now let's go see if that harvester orb is over there. We were able to do that without too many issues, honestly. I mean, again, I did kind of plan for all of the guys to get shot before the Mangler made it up there, so we didn't have a lot of zombies to deal with in the process. Well, let's see if this harvester orb, it is still over here. And I do have one decoy, so we can wait till it gets crazy and then be able to shoot it. Come on, give me some good luck. Give us at least one more epic to rule all. And then I do need to get moving because I know for sure that we are at the point where the gas is expanding. You don't want to get too close to the harvester orb, by the way, because it will have an electric-like effect. The decoy bounced right off my dude, the dog or whatever. Throw that over there. Okay, should be able to shoot the orb. Reload. Gotta keep moving. I mean, these guys are fast, like almost all the time. Okay. And they will sneak up behind you and try to rip you when you're not paying attention. There we go. And we got the purple. I'm gonna go down again. Look at that. I knew I was gonna go down. Don't necessarily grab the reward rift until you for sure. Oh, I'm lagging. It's a bad time for lag. I don't have a self-revive. Okay, I need to run to the buy station. Oh my god. Like, how are they keeping up, right? I need to run toward the buy station here and get a self-revive, and then we need to get out of here. But there you go. We got another epic tool out of that. So what did we get? We got 3 total epics. We got a legendary. We have a pack 3 crystal. Got a couple of perks, couple ammo mods. I mean, we really did make the best of this scenario here. You're not always going to be able to get the triangles, so hey, at the very least, you probably would have had, I think I did drop at least one pack 1 crystal. I have one also. You could have at least had some rarity tools and some things to set you up to even have a better start in the tier 2 zone. So we had a decent start in tier 2. Even with a pack 1 and a blue. So imagine you're even pack 1 and a purple, how much easier things would be and how much more you'd be able to challenge. Now, what we were talking about when it came to the Disciple in tier 2 and how difficult it can actually be, you will be able to succeed at that challenge. Pack 1 purple with a lot of weapons, even in tier 2. So that's the good news. That's the good news. Okay, we bought our self-revive, so we're making sure we're not exfilling without one. I do need to hurry up, but this guy's already called the chopper in, so if I don't make it over there quickly, I might not actually have time to call it in, and I might have to go to a different exfil. But hopefully they're farming it or they're not leaving right away, and I'll have a chance at actually joining or jumping in. Okay, I made it over to the exfil safely. We got a bag full of goodies from this one. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed this journey. Maybe you might even enjoy it more than the first one we put out in yesterday's video. Hopefully it gives you some further insight on the best ways that you can kind of not only loot up, but use your loot to benefit you in future runs. eventually leading you into the high threat zone where you can get even more opportunities to get some of that high-end loot. But that's going to wrap things up for us here. Thank you guys for all support in today's video, all support the channel, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace!